Check out this new poll by CBS showing Trump with a lead over Biden overall with voters. There are the numbers there, battleground and also in a national poll. Very, very tight numbers, 50 to 49%, and then 1 point. That is the only lead he has, Biden, in the battleground states. 55% of voters polled said Trump's conviction, not a factor in their vote. 28% say it's a major factor, but it does look like the lawfare every day against the former president seems to be impacting voters less and less. So pleased to bring in our very next guest now, former Attorney General of Florida, Special Advisor to President Trump, Pam Bondi. Pam, good to have you this Monday. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Bianca. Great to see you.
You know, to see Donald Trump on that stage yesterday, I think his economic policy talking about not taxing tips, as we're seeing now, is very positive, weighed on a lot of independents' minds. But contrast that with what he's dealing with today. Now he's in this meeting with Todd Blanche talking to a probation officer. You know, I know it's normal due course if you are a criminal, but this is the former president here being subjected to this. It all seems so upside down and so beyond the pale of what our legal system should be doing in light of what we just came on the air with, what's happening in D.C.
Right. The real crime happening in D.C., where people are getting robbed every day all over this country, and also because of all the illegal aliens coming across our border. But sure, yes. So President Trump today and Todd Blanche are having to do a virtual meeting with his probation officer. I almost feel sorry for this probation officer because you have a checklist of questions. You have to ask him, has he ever been employed? What does he do for a living? What does he do? How does he spend his time?
Wow.
So President Trump, it's almost comical, but President Trump's going to have to answer these questions. It's a waste of time, obviously, for everyone. It's part of the legal system, but that shows you how absurd the entire process has been.
Truly. This story broke, and it will be, I think, followed up very closely, and already is, by Trump's attorneys. A Facebook post, Judge Juan Merchan had to release this late Friday. Someone wrote, "My cousin's a juror. Trump's getting convicted." This is a day before the conviction. At the same time, these jurors who were not sequestered were not supposed to talk to it. Now, we want to be clear. The user hasn't been identified. It needs to still be authenticated. But this could be, even Donald Trump's pointing out, grounds for a mistrial. This is very serious, Pam. What do you think is happening behind the scenes as the lawyers try to authenticate this, or actually maybe make more filings, more motions that we may hear about very soon?
Oh, there'll be a lot of motions, Bianca, and a lot of investigation is going on right now. This is crucial. This is why you sequester juries, number one, which was never done. But yeah, if they can prove it's a cousin, they're out there doing interviews. Both sides are, and seeing what they can find out. But sure, this is absolutely grounds for a mistrial if they can prove it. If they can prove any juror said one word to anyone about this case at any point during the trial while they were sitting as jurors, but this is while they were deliberating. So this is absurd. It doesn't surprise me, though. It does not surprise me. This jury should have been sequestered, and it's going to come back to bite the judge, I hope, because it is grounds for a mistrial if they can prove it.
And remember, they had that long Memorial Day break as well there. Lots of probably barbecues with friends and family. One can only imagine what was discussed. Let's talk a little bit about this meltdown on the left. The convicted felon isn't sticking. The threat to democracy, no one's buying anymore. So now you have folks like AOC just going out on liberal media saying, oh, she thinks Trump's out to get her. In fact, jail her. Look at her comment, pretty unhinged.
I wouldn't be surprised if this guy threw me in jail. He's out of his mind.
Wow. Why would he throw her in jail? This isn't even something that's even being discussed. I mean, it's crazy that people aren't pushing back, but maybe it isn't, because the media actually is working in concert many times with Joe Biden's administration, Pam. But that type of rhetoric here, you know, independent voters hear it. Maybe they're not as clued in. Maybe they're not watching outlets that report facts and truth like Newsmax. It's amazing, though, just showing how panicked they are. They'll say anything.
That's right. The left has they've gotten so desperate, Bianca. And look at President Trump's rally in Nevada yesterday. Look, this weekend, look at his numbers. They're through the roof. And people can see that. So they are so desperate that they're going to say something. And if he wanted to prosecute someone, he would have prosecuted Hillary Clinton when he was first elected, and he chose not to.
That's very true.